All right, mates, welcome back. I'd like to talk about Mr. Ryan Garcia for a brief moment. Seems he's ready to get back in the ring 2022. It also appears that he might have resolved all his mental health issues that plagued him last year. And as we all know, boxers say some of the weirdest shit sometimes. And maybe that's because most of the times they're speaking is after a fight where they might be possibly concussed. But as you know, with technology now these days, it's not only what they say, it can also be what they type, which is a representation of what they think. So anyway, I do recall briefly after the Isaac Cruz Tank Davis fight, Mr. Ryan Garcia promptly jumped on his Twitter and tweeted, and you're reading that tweet right now. He basically was whining because Mr. Davis gets away with fighting C-level fighters. And I'm sure Mr. Garcia wasn't concussed, but if his memory serves him correctly, he should have realized and understood that the reason Isaac Cruz became an opponent for Mr. Davis was because Mr. Davis' opponent could not make it to the ring to fight due to personal issues. It strikes me very odd and strange that now Mr. Garcia, with his mental health issues behind him, is now looking to get in the ring, start the year off against the same C-level opponent he was whining that Tank Davis fought. Alright, I mean, this thing is getting real. As you can see, Uncle Oscar had to chime in to get Mr. Isaac Cruz's attention. While we're on this subject, something else just came to mind. There's a lot of times boxers do have to pull out of a fight due to an injury of some sort. And one of the things that we're accustomed to seeing is the boxers providing proof of said injury. Them being in the hospital, an x-ray of the damaged bone or ligament, some type of proof to say, hey, we're just not pulling out of a fight because we're scared, but we have a legitimate injury here. I mean, even Mr. Garcia, several weeks ago, posted a picture of himself recovering in a hospital bed after having hand surgery. But can one prove mental health problems as easy as a broken hand or repaired limb or any kind of damage? That is the question. Because as you know, once Mr. Garcia claimed he was suffering from mental health issues, which should be taken seriously, his conduct didn't change. His social media activity didn't change. I remember after several fights, Devin Haney's fight, Mr. Garcia was prompt to get on Twitter and make tweets. And none of these tweets reeked of, I have mental health issues. Now, I might be skeptical for my own reasons here, but I'm sure a picture of Mr. Garcia laying on a psychiatrist's couch would have sufficed. Maybe. Anyway, just some random thoughts I had based on a couple tweets I saw from Mr. Garcia recently. In closing, I do hope this fight occurs. I think it'll be a great fight for Mr. Isaac Cruz, and I think it'll be a great fight for Mr. Ryan Garcia. And if possible, Mr. Isaac Cruz can pull off a victory, I think this would be even greater.